Я хотіла, щоб люди подивилися тут на наш будинок, це є мій будинок, щоб вони подивилися і знали, що ми не забуваємо за українцям, що є в Україні, що для свободу борються, що вони можуть подивитися, що люди знають, що ми щодня про це думаємо і не забуваємо про них.
I was contacted by the store owner here, Lida, to paint a mural to represent, the war in Ukraine. And this mural here is one of the first murals in Oakville. It's commissioned by Lida, and it's one of the first. We hope to have more public art in the city. It took a little bit of sketching and some planning beforehand, and then I painted everything by ladder, so there was no lift involved. Just because of the alleyway traffic, it was hard to get a lift in, so everything was done with more manual labor than anything. Majority of the work is done in latex and spray paint. I specialize a lot in spray paint, and the work that I did here took just under a week. So we had about 5 days, 6 days total, from start to finish. Typical murals I paint are very floral-like. So she saw my work here locally in Oakville, and so she's looking to represent some sunflowers that represent the country. And I think it's a really good color palette. It definitely represents the flag, and it also talks about regeneration and growth because, just like sunflowers, things take time to grow back, and when they do, it's a pretty beautiful thing. I do paint large scale a lot, and hopefully the next coming years I can paint more internationally. Actually visit Ukraine and Eastern Europe and actually get to paint out there because, as an artist, the way I see things, it's about the value of art, not the money. So it's always about contacting other people and connecting with communities that you might not known unless it was for art. So I'm totally for that. The war actually broke out on my birthday, so a lot of people know my birthday because of the war, and that's a close tie that I have with the Ukrainian war.
My parents came after the Second World War. My mother was from a little town outside of Kharkiv. She was actually one of the last Holodomor survivors, and my father's was from the western part. And when the war hit, it was extremely emotional to think that our beautiful country could be taken like that and a democracy just thrown out the window with what happened. So yes, it was something I wanted to this is my heritage. This is what's important to me. I think the Oakvillians that are here know me as a business person for 20 years, but they might not know a little bit more about me, my background, and I'm extremely proud of my background, and I wanted to be able to relay that and also honor the refugees that have come to Oakville. We have quite a few of them in Oakville that are employed by local businesses.
I know Oakville's known for its wealth and real estate and stuff like that, but I think the most important thing is art. And you can't really put a intrinsic numerical value on that. And I think what's important is that art it goes beyond any typical value you might have, because it can touch you in any way that changes your life. So I think the most important value in the world is art, and I think the more we could do that, the more we could value ourselves as well internally.
Most of the reason was to raise funds, which we ended up attaining our goal after the artist's cause, which you met Chris Perez. And I was able to present a check to the church on Trafalgar, St. Joseph's, to buy medical supplies and equipment, which they did. They bought these hand warmers, feet warmers, and medical packs that they sent out to Ukraine. And my GoFundMe page is still on. However, we have attained our goal, but we would like to go further on if we can. I was very pleased with this.
Not just the aesthetic of murals and the beauty of it, but it's also the interaction it has with the public. As someone who works in the public art and more accessible art, we're able to create works that are more friendly to the public and not deterred from just the gallery view. Although a lot of people look at art generally through a gallery lens, I think having public art is more opening for those who, don't have the mind or matter to actually walk into a building, especially after COVID. So murals like this, I hope Oakville and other municipalities across Canada and cities abroad will adopt this public art form and it inspires a lot. You never know until someone sees it. So hopefully the more we give that to the people, the more the people could respond back in like a better positive way. So far it's all been positive. I haven't heard any negative reviews or anyone like that. I've actually got to connect with some local artists here in Oakville, which I probably would have never done if I had painted the mural. And so a lot of the things I do is very based on conversation, right? Art itself is a conversation to the bigger picture. I think everyone should be involved in that, and having something like this in a local neighborhood, especially downtown Oakville, opens up any generation to think about art in a different way. So hopefully more positivity, and for sure more opportunities to paint.
The inside story basically deals with women and their underpinnings, undergarments. So we are very well versed and very well known to do proper fittings for women. We are very inclusive in sizing as well. And the most important thing, we do sell our bras to pajamas to bathing suits as well. So we do swim stylings, and that also is tightly connected to bra sizing for women. It's a very comfortable environment. That's very important for us to have that comfort for the woman to come in and make sure that when she's here, it's a vulnerable, situation, that everything is all about listening to what the woman's needs are and making sure she leaves happy and comfortable. I haven't ever been to Ukraine. I was supposed to go with my son pre-COVID, and as we know, everything was in lockdown. So now I have the opportunity. I will be going to find my family. I have a very small family. My parents have passed away, and it's very dear to my heart. I need to complete my journey as a Ukrainian in Canada. I want to find some of my relatives that I know are still alive in the western part of Ukraine. So I will be going, and I will be probably taking an extra suitcase to bring medical supplies with me and get them to the appropriate people that can hand them out to our soldiers that are fighting and working to keep Ukraine free.